Did you get ready in the dark or something? 'Cause you look like a beautiful nightmare.
Hi Cancer, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tessa. This is going to be your look into the year ahead. So 2022 12-month Oracle and Tarot spread. What is going on with you guys? What's up? I have been having such a weird day. Okay, just weird day. I had to go to the DMV today to get my license renewed. And I got there and they were like, oh, this is appointment only. You have to make an appointment online. And I was kind of irritated because I just kind of assumed that I wasn't going to be able to get an appointment that day. But it turns out I was able to get an appointment that day. And I only had to wait like 2 hours, which is better than having to go back on a completely different day and do it all over again. So I hung out at like Mariano's and played with my tarot. I literally brought my tarot deck with me and I played with my tarot deck and then I went back. So yeah, I went to the DMV today to renew my license. So I'm getting that in the mail in a couple of weeks. My license expired on my birthday, which was December 1st. So yeah, that was my day today. And then definitely didn't go to the fitness center. I was planning on it, but then I realized that it was getting a little bit too late, so I'm gonna go tomorrow morning. But yeah, so this is full 2022 tarot reading, all 12 months, January through December. I'm using 6 different decks, 3 tarot decks, 3 oracle decks. One of the oracle decks is an advice card, so that card I'm gonna read when I at the end of the monthly reading. So basically the way I have it laid out is I made 12 piles, okay, and I already like shuffled the decks and I pulled one card from each deck and I just kind of laid them out in a pile of 12, okay. Each pile is 1 month. So I put them all face down when I was dealing the cards. I put them face down because I don't want to see what is going to happen up ahead in the year. I want to just do this reading month by month. So, you know, you and I, we're going to be in this together and we're going to unfold the story of your soul's journey together. And I'm going to do the reading month by month, and each month is going to have an advice card based on the energies that are in that pile, okay? So you guys are my 5th video, I believe, the 5th one, and I have been really enjoying these. I've been having a lot of fun with this particular reading just because, I don't know, I've just been having fun doing them. They're a little longer. I kind of feel like I'm going more into depth about it and, you know, really trying to like tap into the energy and the insight. And like the messages that are trying to come out for you, okay? So they've been really, really great. If you read my description down below, the only really announcement that I have is like, you know, just as a creative individual, like I'm always evolving, I'm always changing, I'm always working on new projects, you know, there's always something new going on in my life because that's just always how I've been. That's just always been my vibe, like my flow. Like I'm always interested in creating new things and I'm always involving myself in like new ways of, you know, kind of doing things and experimenting and stuff like that. And, you know, tarot and astrology is like such an important like part of my journey and such an important part of just like the journey of this channel, 110%. But there are going to be some changes to my channel starting 2022, and it's just not going to be the same layout. Like I won't be doing individual, I haven't exactly planned it out yet 100%. I don't know 100%, but I've been having some ideas already for like the types of tarot videos that I want to do because I'm not going to be doing like zodiac videos anymore, like individual zodiac signs. I want to get into more detail. Like I want to do collective readings, and I also had this other idea of, you know, like, of doing the of, like, basically, like, tying in astrology with tarot. And when I say astrology, I don't mean just your sun sign. I'm not talking about just your, you know, when you watch these videos, you're usually watching like your sun, moon, or rising. And I feel like if I explain it to you right now, it might come out a little confusing. So maybe I'll just save it for another video when I actually like put together the plan. But I have a lot of ideas. I always have ideas, so it's not like I'm disappearing, you know. I'm still going to be creating content and stuff like that. It's just that at this point in time, with all the different things that are kind of going on in my life, and with my like little sister leaving and stuff like that, my attention has just needed to be on different things and different projects and things like that. So like I'll kind of like keep you guys posted as things develop. But yeah, I'm actually just like really excited, in all honesty, about what's to come and about 2022, and just, you know, opening myself up more to my own like creativity and, you know, the different avenues that are available to me and like things like that. I'm drinking kombucha. It's not wine, but it's in a wine glass. So yeah, super vague, okay? My little intro is definitely vague, but you know, that's just what it is right now. Because this video can easily be like 3 hours long, and I can easily go into explanations and into depth about all the different things that that I'm doing right now, that I'm involved in, or that I'm like trying to get off the ground, or that like I'm learning about. Like, I'm always learning new things as a Sagittarius. Like, I'm always, you know, like exploring. Like, I'm a very thirsty individual. Like, I love to learn. I love to solve puzzles and figure out like new ways to do things. So yeah, that's just me. So yeah, we're gonna get back to you, Cancer, okay? And hopefully you guys subscribe and just kind of like stay tuned. But this is definitely going to be a tarot astrology creative channel. You know, I'll always be giving you guys like information about whatever the heck is going on, but you know, hopefully in a more organized manner. So yeah, let's get into your reading. So we're going to start with January. All right, we're going to start with January, Cancer, and let's see what we got going on for you. We have Fruition, we have Talisman, we have Six of Pentacles, Moon in Taurus, and we have the Knight of Coins, Virgo energy. And we have the Seven of Wands, Mars in Leo. Okay, so January is basically like, January is marked with a time of like abundance for you, okay? It's kind of like your, like, things in your life are ripening, right? They're ripening. It's kind of like whatever, like all the things that you've been working towards, okay? And Capricorn is the opposite. Capricorn is your opposite sign. It's on the opposite side of the spectrum for you. So Capricorn season does kind of, because it's your opposite sign, that energy, like, it tends to be this unconscious force. It tends to be this energy that we're not completely aware of, but it's like this driving force that kind of pushes us to like blossom, right? It kind of pushes us out of our like comfort zone, or at least it tries to. So Capricorn energy is very much about like, it's kind of like a blossoming time for you. You know, it's like the beginning of a new year. You know, it's a very, very fruitful kind of energy. It's a very ripe kind of energy, where like your energy, Cancer, is just kind of like, it's so ripe and it's so like abundantly creative, okay? And it's like you're able to do so many different things with it. But with the Talisman over here, it's kind of like, I kind of feel like you're taking this energy from deep within you. This energy could be tied to like your ancestral heritage. or your home life, okay? It's kind of like taking this, like a talisman is like something that like your grandparents will give to you, or your grandma will give to you, or like a stone of like protection, or like something, it's kind of like something, it could be some idea or some project or something that you have been kind of holding on to, and maybe you're ready, like you're ready to take that step and to like show the world your gift, or to show what you have, to show this like this protective spirit, or this like part of you that is just like ready to just kind of like explode, but like in the most beautiful way possible, and to just kind of blossom into existence and into being, okay? And it looks like over here, like you're either like you might start getting involved in like charitable kind of events, or you could definitely start searching out people who can help you manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest, or you can start talking to like other people who, or you want to give to them, or you are wanting to give your energy, whatever that may be. It could be your creative energy, but you're giving something. You're giving some kind of creative energy. It could be to your children, or it could be to like your employees, or it could be to people who are kind of looking to you for guidance, and who kind of like need a little bit of that stability, that sense of support and stability that you're kind of able to offer and give through that creative energy that you harbor, through that nurturing kind of energy. Your energy is for January is coming up super nurturing and giving, and wanting to take part in manifesting. You could also be like investing, okay? So this could definitely be an investment. Not just in your future, but in the future of perhaps certain people. You know, it could also be people who are less fortunate, or, you know, people that just generally speaking might be in your life that you're offering some kind of assistance to. Now with the Seven of Wands, there is still an energy of protection here, where it's like, yeah, even though you are investing yourself, even though you want to invest, you're still a little iffy about something, or there's something that's still kind of like, I'm not so sure, you know, like I don't know yet, or I need more information, or like I don't really know if I want to put myself out there that much. You know, you're still kind of looking. So with the talisman, it's like you are ready. You're ready to burst. You're ready to blossom. You're ready to extend your creative energy. But there's still this like feeling of not completely being able to let go. There's still this feeling of like, well, you know, there's still some fear of losing security. It's kind of like your emotional security is so important to you, and just feeling kind of safe and secure within yourself is so important to you, that this could start to seem very risky. This idea or this investment could start to seem kind of risky, and you're just not sure yet if you want to go down that path, okay, for January. Now, your advice over here is resurrection. Reconsider a project or recall a person from the past to resurrect an idea. Yeah, so this is definitely this is definitely something related. Like you might actually have your own idea for a project or a business that you want to start working towards, and this could have been an idea that you shared with a person from your past, and maybe you're considering it again, or you're thinking about it again. But you're also just feeling a little like, with the Seven of Wands, you're just feeling a little like defensive, like you're still not completely, like you are still, or you are needing to fight, you know, you're needing to kind of like stand up for yourself, or fight for your views, or fight for your vision, or something like that. But your advice is resurrection. So your advice is to go for it, or your advice is to do this. If this is where your intuition, especially with the talisman card, if your intuition is guiding you in that direction, and there's something inside you that's kind of pushing you to get involved in this, then that is definitely something that you should consider doing on a very, very serious level, you know, and kind of try to work through some of those blockages or through some of those, like fears and anything that could be holding you back, possibly. Okay, so let's get into February. Oh my goodness. My hair is stuck everywhere. February is protection, field of dreams, temperance, Sagittarius energy, the Emperor is Aries energy, and the Page of Swords, air energy. Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Like, put this out. That's a good little layout there. Okay. Okay, so February, yeah. So protection, yeah. So February, like, you are feeling, you know, like I have noticed how the months literally, they just kind of feed off of one another as, you know, like as I do the reading from month to month, I literally, it just feels like the very first card that comes out is just this continuation of the previous month. So for the first card, we have protection. So there is a deeper feeling within you that where you need to feel that emotional security. You need to feel like you're being protected somehow. So like that talisman that showed up in January, that can definitely symbolize perhaps a need to like have some kind of like lucky charm near you, or like if you do have some kind of gift, or if you do have some kind of item or possession that was given to you or passed down to you perhaps from like a relative, and you just like feel some kind of positive energy from it. If there is anything in your surroundings that offers a feeling of protection, especially if you're alone, Cancer, especially if you don't like live with anybody, or like you don't really, or if you don't depend on that kind of emotional security from your from a partner or from a family member, or from like if you don't have people around you to kind of help with that emotional security, sometimes it's good to kind of you're able to, you can feel that type of energy just through doing some kind of ritual, or just through holding a certain possession in your hand, like buying like a protective crystal, or like obsidian is really good. Obsidian is probably one of my favorite stones. It absorbs like bad energy, but it's also a stone of deep, deep, deep healing and deep mystery, and it's just a really cool stone. I love it, but it does a lot of different things. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a crystal, it doesn't have to be a stone, you know, if that's not your thing. Like, you know, I don't know, you know, that's something that can definitely be interesting to explore. So it's kind of like, you know, or like what can make you feel protected as you kind of go through this, because the next card we have is the Field of Dreams. So you are dreaming. You do have these big dreams for yourself. You do have these things that you want to accomplish, and you do have these like beautiful visions and creative ideas and these, you know, these wonderful dreams. So it's all about like, you know, but you're going to have to, no matter what you do in life, there's always going to be some obstacles. There's always going to be things that we have to like overcome. And a lot of the times when, you know, especially if you're a highly sensitive individual, like when we're dealing with water signs over here, like you know, it can be kind of like a mean world out there. It can be kind of rough, and like really following your dreams, and really putting yourself out there and following your heart. It definitely, you know, because if you're putting your heart, the thing is, it's like if you're putting your heart in what you do, and then someone comes along and like crushes your dream and you become broken, it's like you have to be resilient. You have to be able to overcome these obstacles and to believe in something so deeply that you're willing, that you know that even if you fall, or even if someone like tries to knock you or put you down or like sends negative energy your way, or if you fail, you know, that you'll be able to get right back up and get back to it. So that's why it's important to really consider, you know, like you can have a lot of different dreams. With the Field of Dreams card here, you can have a lot of different visions and a lot of different things that you want to do for yourself. But I feel like it's going to be important to really, really, really tune into what you'll be willing to fight for. Like which dream or what vision are you actually going to continue trying to obtain, even if you fail, or even if someone comes your way and they're like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So like the whole idea of a talisman is actually a really cool thing to have, because whatever you decide you want to follow, or whatever this dream idea or whatever it is that you're after, you know, your protective stone or your like good luck kind of charm or whatever can definitely be something symbolic that is related to that specific dream, right? And that it's all like part of alchemy, you know, it's all kind of part of this this energy exchange. With the Temperance card over here, Sagittarius energy, it's all kind of part of this energetic exchange where we kind of, you know, we kind of give a certain, we can literally give objects and possessions energetic power to kind of be there to help guide us even when we are not feeling like we are able to. And that is the power of placing your energy and kind of like putting kind of this like ritualistic type of spell inside of objects or things, okay? Like I used to do it a long time ago, and I would wear like, you know, I would like have these different necklaces, and, you know, I would do like a little like ritual with the necklace, and then if I was feeling a certain way, I would like wear it. But it can definitely like help you on your journey and help you on your path, and ultimately like lead you to be a leader with the Emperor over here, you know, like really like, you know, really put you in that energy of just like I am the master of my own destiny. I am the boss. Like, I got this, you know. And this could also be someone who's coming into your life in February, and who is seeing this potential in you, who is seeing your creative energy, and who is seeing your vision and wants to take part in it and wants to do something with it. But this Emperor can also represent you, like, really stepping into your power. And then with the Page of Swords over here, like, there is also like needing to open your mind to perhaps, and that's why I said this Emperor could be someone, this could be like a boss, okay? I'm also feeling for a lot of you, like this could be in reference to your work environment, and like maybe you want to have more creative input into your work environment and how things are run. And I really feel like if this is like a boss kind of energy, they are definitely looking at you with curiosity, and they're definitely looking at you as like someone who has a lot of potential and someone who can really bring a lot of really fruitful dynamic energy to the workplace. But they're also like seeing, they're kind of like observing to see like what you can do. And like with the Page of Swords over here, it kind of almost looks like this energy is open, like they're open to learning. But it's also like, you know, they're open to learning, but at the same time, it's almost like you also need to be open to learning, because the Page of Swords is all about like, you know, the Page of Swords is like someone who's willing to do research, someone who is willing to like absorb information, who's willing to learn a new skill. So, you know, there's this like exchange of energy. There's even this kind of interesting exchange of energy that's happening perhaps like in your workplace, or at least in regard, this could be like a partnership. This could be the person from January where like perhaps like you guys are thinking about getting together to work on something creative or a business project. And, you know, as long as you guys just kind of have an open mind and are able to listen to each other's ideas and kind of learn from each other, like one person can be really good at one specific skill and another person can be good in another skill, and then you kind of like learn from each other and come together. So the advice is evolve, Creative ideas evolve out of the invisible and profound nothingness of proverbial consciousness. So yeah, so it's all about evolution. And evolution, like, in order to evolve and grow as human beings, we have to be open to other people and their energy. We have to be open to learning about other people and how they operate. And, like, that is how our own energy grows, by allowing ourselves to kind of not just, like, adopt to other people's energies, but to literally open our energy fields up in order to receive the energy of other people and receive what it is that they're trying to give us. Okay, let's move on to March. Okay, so for March, we have attraction, law of attraction. Okay, so definitely trying to attract that which you want. Details. That's going to be really important. That's heavy Virgo energy right there. Details. Four of Pentacles, we have the Sun in Capricorn, holding on to something here. The Devil, more Capricorn energy. Okay, some kind of addiction or bad habits. And then we have the Eight of Cups, walking away from something. Saturn in Pisces. Okay, so March is like there's some crazy manifestation energy going on in March. And it's interesting because I believe in March, the full moon is going to be in Virgo. So for March, the full moon is going to be in Virgo. It's going to be all about the law of attraction. But what you're basically attracting, and, like, it's going to be all about manifestation. There's going to be a lot of manifesting going on. But what you're basically manifesting and drawing into your life is, like, a lot of work. And that's a good thing, because that means that you're not going to have any illusions. That means you're not going to have any false ideologies or false kind of ideas of, like, what it would take to get somewhere. So the details card is really showing you, like, this is what it's going to take in order for you to get to where you want to be. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take, like, you really coming to terms with the details of this job or of this creative venture or of this business or whatever it is. Okay, it's going to be all about looking at the details. You are manifesting your dreams, you are manifesting your visions, but, like, with that comes the practical everyday reality of actually doing the, like, the hands-on work in order to really, really see that grow. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, so it's like, I don't know if this is, like, a shift in energy over here, because there's something that you're holding on to, there's something that you're not wanting to let go of. Perhaps you don't want to invest your time anymore to this. Like, it's almost like you just kind of want things to come your way. There's also this feeling of, like, you just kind of, like, settling, like, you just wanting to, like, settle into what you have worked really hard for, so, like, up till now, and just kind of feel comfort in that. But there is this, like, there's this energy of, there's some stubbornness here too, okay? There's some stubborn energy going on here, okay? There might be some I'm kind of feeling, basically, Cancer, that March is kind of like, you're gonna, like, rebel against yourself a little bit, okay? That you're kind of gonna, like, you might rebel against, all of this work, or all this, all these details, it's, like, too much, I think that, like, you don't want to get bogged down by, these everyday, like, little things, because it's probably, like, stressing you out, or, I think that when you start getting stressed out, it's almost like when you get too stressed out, you kind of, like, shut down, and then you kind of, like swerve out of control with the Devil energy over here, and maybe, like, when you become too stressed out, maybe you look to, like, drinking or eating, or you have to you have to release all that stress and all that energy in something else, and then you end up going like, and then you end up binging or something like that. Like, I'm just getting some energy like that. Like, you know, like when you start to feel too much pressure, and when you start to feel a lot of pressure, and like something maybe becomes too difficult, you kind of like retreat, and you kind of like just go back to being like, not lazy, but just like, oh, well, I already have everything I need. You know, like the attitude might shift a little bit. Like, oh, well, I have a job. I already have everything I need. I don't need to like overstress myself about this, because this is really stressful. Like, I'm allowed to just have fun. I'm allowed to just like, you know, I just want to have fun. I want to drink. I want to get drunk, or I want to like, you know, indulge. You know, the devil is like indulgence and addiction, and just like the things that like are vices, you know, like indulging in the things that, you know, maybe aren't good for us, but that make us feel good, right? So, but then you have the 8 of Cups, which is the Saturn in Pisces. So it's like, you are walking away from something here, okay? So like this could kind of be like, like you are walking away from something. So it's like, and like for some of you, it's almost like, you kind of get a little crazy. Maybe you go off the deep end, maybe you party, and then you're like, okay, I'm done with that. It's time to like, you know, time to walk away from all of that nonsense. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of like, and I know Cancers, you guys are ruled by the moon. So, you know, it's kind of just like this ebb and flow of emotion, and, you know, things just kind of rolling with the phases and rolling with the tides over here. So your advice is trust. Trust that you were born a creative being and have never stopped being one. Yeah. So it's like, I kind of feel like for you though, this is just part of your creative process. Like, that's literally what I got from this card. So just trust that like all these different mood swings and all these different things that you're feeling inside, that this is it's a normal, legitimate part of your creative process. Like, whatever you're feeling, it's like, it's fine. It's okay. Like, it's just part of it. And I think that there's a part of you that maybe thinks that like, well, if you're not in the mood to be creative, or if you're not in the mood to work on this, then that means that you don't care about it that much. I think that you overthink things. I think that like you always feel like if you're not giving enough, then maybe like you question your own validity as like a creative individual, or as whatever, like an entrepreneur, or someone who wants to start her own business or his own business. So, and you don't have to do that. I think that the question that's really coming up here in March, especially with the 8 of Cups over here, is that like you really need to take an inward journey. Like this, there's some kind of soul journey, spiritual journey that you're on within yourself as well, to like trust and accept that like who you are as a creative individual doesn't stop just because you're going through a moment, or just because like, you know, you want to like work really, really hard one day and then get drunk the next. It's kind of like, you're still you know, you're still, you know, so I think it's just a matter of like reconciling this feeling inside yourself that like, you don't think that you don't feel like you're giving your all, or you don't feel like, or it's like, oh, if you make one mistake, that means that like you should just completely give up. It's like something like that. So I hope that makes sense, because it's basically just like, you know, you need to learn to trust yourself more. Like, you need to learn to trust your creative process more, and trust in your own like kind of roller coaster, and in your own ebb and flow of how things move for you, and that it's all part of you. It's all part of you. So just because you're feeling one way one day and another way another day, you're still both of those things. You know, you don't have to just identify with one thing, you know, because that's very limiting also. If you're like, this is who I am and this is what I want to be, it's like, no, well, you know, like, you can be lots of different things, you know. Okay, so we're in April. April, we have Purity, we have the Bone Collector, we have Strength, Leo energy, we have the World card, Saturn energy. And we have the Ten of Cups, Mars and Pisces. More of that Pisces energy. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so April, there's going to be a lot of inner, like, self-purification. There's going to be a lot of purification type of energy in April. Especially just, like, your soul and your spirit just kind of, like, you know, probably a lot of relaxing, like, maybe, like, bubble baths or just kind of, like, spending time. Just spending time with yourself. Just spending, you know, like, just chilling. Just doing your thing. And then with the Bone Collector, I love this Bone Collector card because to me, it's just like, you're just finding like this really, really, you're finding this happy place inside your own like imagination and inside this like little world that you kind of created inside of yourself where like maybe you're like talking to your ancestors or you're talking to your own spirit guides or you're talking to like other personalities in your own head, you know, and you're just kind of collecting like all these different insights and wisdom and things that are coming your way from these other realms, and it's like purifying you. It's purifying your soul. It's purifying your spirit. It's bringing strength. You're drawing a lot of strength from this, like inner strength and like this ability to kind of like take on the world, like literally, and like coming out of it just like almost like awakened, coming out of it like feeling like you've learned so much, you know, like you've for some of you, I also kind of feel like maybe like you guys end up like dropping acid or going like on a mushroom. I don't know. This is just for some of you, but just the way that the energies are unfolding over here, I'm just seeing some like really like some purification, you know, like, oh, it's time to go on a little trip, but kind of purify the soul and the spirit, okay? But that's not like, you know, but that's not for everyone, okay? And this is definitely, absolutely, this is something that can be obtained without drugs, so I'm not like, you know, by any means, like, you know, kind of like promoting or, you know, saying that that's something that you should do, but, you know, this just comes from meditation, this comes from spending time with yourself, this just comes from, like, going within, and really opening yourself up to like these voices and these realms and these like spiritual kind of entities and guides that want to talk to you and like bring you strength and like show you the knowledge of the world and show you like that everything is from deep within you and that you already have and harbor everything that you need to succeed in this world, you know, and that you have it and that you will. It's like the Ten of Cups, the Mars and Pisces is just like, it's literally like pure bliss. It's emotional fulfillment. It's happiness. It's joy. It's like, just like, oh, like you're just swimming in the waters with not a care in the world. You're literally like on high. Like this whole progression of events over here is just like, you're just floating on cloud nine. You're just like on high. You're, you know, you could be in bliss in your partnership in April. Like April, if you're like in a relationship and you're living with someone, y'all could just be like on cloud nine. You could be just like in La La Land. But like not even, I don't even see anyone over here, but I'm just saying for some of you, but like even if you're alone, Cancer, it's just kind of like enjoying this feeling of like pure bliss within your own energy, within your own spiritual realm and within your own like world. So the advice here, is truth. Oh, that one was trust. I was like, wait a minute, that's weird. Didn't I pull this card already? Truth. An honest desire to know and speak the truth produces beneficial results. So yeah, so you could definitely kind of come out of this little, you know, this little like this, not little, but this spiritual journey or this like this journey for your soul to go within. You can definitely find some deeper truths in there and then come out the other side like wanting to share that truth and wanting to speak that truth and really wanting to be more clear about who you are and where you stand and where you see yourself going. Okay, so let's move on to May. Okay, so for May we have pleasure. Yes. Movement. Pleasure. Okay, so something that you're enjoying. Movement. Perhaps moving, the Four of Wands, we have Venus and Aries. Okay, you could be moving in with someone, or you could be taking, for some of you, you could be taking your relationship to the next level for May. Four of Swords is healing, Jupiter in Libra. time to rest, relax, and heal. And then we have Justice, more Libra energy over here. Okay. Yeah, so May, wow. So, you know, you could definitely, for those of you who are single, it's very possible that in May you end up like getting together with someone, hooking up, you know, or there could definitely be like, there's a lot of pleasure going on here. Let's just put it that way. So this can be, I mean, we're in Taurus season. We're in May. So we're in Taurus season. So pleasure can really be like, it could be sexual pleasure. It could be like really indulging, like in the senses, like really indulging in the things like music, you know, like what makes you feel really good? Like what makes your soul, like what do you crave in your soul, and indulging in that pleasure, okay? Now with the movement card over here, some of you could be moving, or you could want to travel in May. So that could definitely be part of the pleasure, like going in nature, you know, really enjoying nature. But with the Four of Wands, this is definitely something that involves another person. So there can definitely be movement towards taking your relationship to the next level, or movement towards a person. You know, your pleasure, your desire for this person, you know, you're kind of going towards them. Like there could be someone that you're interested in, someone you want to talk to, someone you want to like get together with. This person can definitely bring a lot of healing energy for you. Just their energy and how they are. They probably bring a lot of deep healing, and where like, you know, when you do spend time alone, you really kind of like enjoy, you know, like you feel like you're just resting, relaxing, and you're able to really heal, okay? And it looks like there is healing energy that is brought between both of you. So both of you kind of provide a sense of healing energy for each other. And then with the Justice card over here, it's kind of like saying, I mean, honestly, like justice could symbolize marriage. It could symbolize marriage, but it's also like harmony, okay? Just all around like harmony and balance, and just this feeling of, you know, that things are being reciprocated. Just this feeling of balance, like between you and this other person. There's a feeling of balance here, which is really nice. So for your advice for May, we have seed, S-E-E-D. Having the intention to grow like a seed and bloom is at the heart of creativity. Okay, so I was just honestly like, be careful, because if you're not careful, you know, you can get pregnant, or you can get someone else pregnant, okay? With the seed card over here and all this like pleasure movement, and we're in Taurus season. Taurus is like the Earth Mother, basically. And the Four of Wands, and I don't know, like I'm just saying, okay? But this could also be just two people finding some inspiration with each other, or you could really, really honestly meet someone in May that you can start to see as like your future wife, or your future husband, or the future mother of your children, or the future father of your children, okay? So there's a lot of that kind of energy happening here for May. Okay, so let's move on to June. For June, we have growth. We have flying. Oof. Some of you are falling in love. We have Four of Cups, Moon in Cancer. We have the Queen of Wands, Aries. Oh, and we have another Four of Cups. Very interesting. More Moon in Cancer energy. Okay. So that's going to be really important. So for June, we have growth. So growth is like, you know, to allow yourself to grow from this. I mean, the seed that's being planted in May. What is this seed? You know, like if this is like you and someone else taking your relationship to the next level, okay, well, that's the beginning of something, okay? Like there's every day, like we could have a new beginning every day. And every time we wake up in the morning, it's a new beginning. It's a new start. So like, you know, sometimes I think that people get confused with the concept of a new beginning. It's like, oh, well, I mean, there's always, it's like, how many new beginnings? Well, there's always new beginnings, you know, like, especially if, there is something that you have let go of that is no longer serving you or part of your life, or, you know, even when you speak a truth, even when you share your feelings and you share your emotions, it's no longer eating you inside, you've let it out. So when you let it out, you kind of kill it in a way, and then you're able to start a new beginning because it's not like burdening you anymore. So there's a lot of growth happening in June in regards to whatever seed was planted in May. So that seed could be that new relationship, a new relationship that you started with somebody else, or some kind of creative project that you're involved in with another person. But I do feel like there's another person involved here. And growth does happen when you open yourself up to the energy of another person. You let that person in, and it helps you grow. They let you in, and it helps them grow. Okay, and then flying over here, I really kind of get the feeling like for some of you, you're like in love. This flying energy is just like literally just like your emotions, like the way that you're feeling, your emotions, everything is just kind of like heightened, you know, it's just like this heightened energy, this like feeling of just kind of like flying, you know, like you're growing, you're evolving, and it feels good, you know, you're kind of just, you know, you're flying. But then we have the Four of Cups. So, you know, there's also these moments where there's a lot of this, like, how do I explain it? There's a lot of this, like, needing to, like, when things aren't feeling so fulfilling, or when it's kind of like, it's weird. It's like you have the energy basically that I'm getting is like one day you're just like mellow, you're very mellow and just kind of like and like nothing is really like exciting you, and then the next day you're just your energy is like off the roof, and then the next day you're like, well, no, let's just chill, let's just watch TV, let's just do this, and then the next day your energy is all over the place and like creative and interesting. So that's what I get here, especially with growth flying. Four of Cups, Queen of Wands, and then Four of Cups again. So Four of Cups energy is kind of like nothing really like phases you, like nothing excites you really, okay? Like everything that is, you know, being offered to you, like if you're living with someone, they could be like, oh, let's go see a movie, oh, let's go do this, let's go out for dinner, and you're like, nah, I think I just want to watch TV. I think I just want to sit home and watch this movie, you know? It's kind of like that. Or like if you go for a picnic or something, and they're like, oh, let's go for a hike down this trail, and you're just like relaxing on the blanket, like looking at the leaves on the trees or looking at the sun. You're like, nah, I'm good. I think I'll just lay here. It's kind of like that. But then the next day you might wake up going like, oh my God, let's go do this, let's go do that. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely a lot of this kind of energy for June where, you know, your energy is just kind of, you know, like one day you feel more like in yourself, you feel more kind of like in your own vibe, and then the next day, like you're still in your own energy, you're still in your own vibe, but you're more like extroverted. It's kind of like this introverted, extroverted thing. And for some reason, Cancer, I feel like you guys express that, the dynamic of that introverted, extroverted energy, the dynamic of it and the back and forth of it. I feel like you guys just kind of express the dynamic of it really, really well. So it's really interesting, but I don't know, it's almost like maybe there is a possibility that I see here that maybe like you're kind of like, I don't know if you're afraid. I think that you're still protecting your emotional security. In all honesty, I think you're still protecting your emotional security, and I think that, you know, you kind of retreat into your own world when you really don't want to share how you really feel with your partner. And, you know, but if this is your partner, and if this is someone that you've really decided to take things to the next level with, like, well, part of the growing process is to like start opening up, not to always go hide in your shell, you know, but to actually start saying how you feel, to open your heart to this person and actually like, you know, just start talking about what you're feeling or what you're going through. Your advice over here is counsel. Seek out the counsel of those whose lives and creative work you most admire. Exactly, counsel. So it's like, don't be so afraid to talk, to open up to people, you know, instead of just kind of, you know, don't be afraid to open up to people. Don't be afraid to talk about your feelings, and to, because like your feelings are beautiful. So don't be afraid to talk about, you know, like, instead of just being like, oh no, but actually, you know, maybe just have a conversation and say, because maybe the reason you're saying no is a lot deeper, you know, maybe there's something that you're actually feeling or that's on your mind or something that like is kind of weighing heavier on your heart, and that's why your energy is low. So for June, it looks like it's time to really start working on that and like opening up to expressing yourself. Okay, so let's move on to July. We're in Cancer season now, okay? So Cancer season, we have abundance. Yes, Spirit of Place. I love that card. Two of Pentacles, Jupiter in Capricorn. The Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy. And the Empress, Venus energy. Wow. Okay. So Cancer season, yeah, just full of beauty, abundance. You could definitely be going out into nature more often, maybe going to the lake or going on hikes. You might have a garden if you like have a house or an apartment, you know, like you could be growing a garden. But with the Spirit of Place here, I kind of feel like you're really tuning in more to the energy of your surroundings. I feel like this is you really, like, your intuition right now is really, really tapped in, I feel like, to your home. Your intuition, your energy, and your spiritual just kind of sense of belonging is really tapping into your home environment and how you really feel in your home environment. Maybe trying to kind of balance out different projects or trying to balance out like how you feel. Because like if your home is not exactly what you want it to be, this could actually be a really, really good time to start kind of like working on some things around the house, working on some projects around the house, kind of helping to make your home a more like a sanctuary and like a place where everything that you can possibly imagine and create for yourself can be done from within your home, you know, like where the possibilities are just kind of endless. And then with the Empress energy over here, it's kind of just saying like, you know, it isn't necessary to overdo it or to overthink it or to like have so many big plans and big ideas that you don't know like what to work on first. With the Two of Pentacles, it's kind of like juggling. It's kind of like you feel a little stressed out because maybe one side of that you want to fix one part of the house, but you also want to fix this part of the house. You don't know what to do first, and it's kind of like, you know, and then it becomes overwhelming and then you lose your energy. But then with the Empress over here, it's like, no, remember, just remember that you are the goddess of your own place. You do things at your own pace. Things don't control you. You control things, right? So like you do things at your own pace, and you always, always, always first and foremost take care of yourself first. Once you're able to take care of yourself, you can start taking care of the things that are going on around you. And you would think that for Cancer season, Cancers would already know to do this, to like, you know, to take care of themselves. But as a Sagittarius who is currently in Sagittarius season and who experiences this every year, I feel like a lot of people can relate when it's kind of like whenever you're in your own season, it almost feels like you feel like you have like all these different things that you want to do that you kind of forget to just take care of yourself. I don't know. That might not be for everybody. You know, there could be people who do like you just focus on themselves for their own season. But I don't know. I feel like you know, that's like way past me. Like that's something I used to do. But anyway, so your advice for July is cooperation. Your goal can benefit from your surrounding, from you surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Your goal can benefit from you surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Okay. Yeah, so like, you know, seek out those who understand you, who really understand you on a deeper level, who really just like understand the energy that you're trying to cultivate and the life that you're trying to cultivate, and just like, you know, And even if you're just trying to relax and just kind of like relax and be that Empress, who is it that really appreciates that? You know, is it your significant other? Is it your partner? Is there someone who just like loves that you're able to just take care of yourself and your needs? Like, you have to put your own needs, you have to put your own personal needs first, and then like, and appreciate the people who love you for doing that. Okay, let's move on to August. Okay, for August, we have discernment. We have sad embrace. We have 7 of Pentacles, Saturn in Taurus. We have the Hermit, Virgo. And we have another Hermit, Virgo. Ooh, damn, Cancer. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that August is a very intense, it's going to be a very intense month, astrologically speaking, okay? As far as astrology is concerned, I haven't like really dissected all the details of it, but I do know that August is going to have a lot of T-square. It's just going to have a lot of like gridlocked, intense kind of energies going on, okay? So there could be some really weird, constricted energy happening in August, okay? So for the first card, we have discernment. And discernment means that basically for August, it's going to be really, really important for you to use your intuition in order to discern and assess perhaps certain people that are in your life, okay? Because there could be people in your life that don't have your best interest at heart. And also, it's going to be really important to just kind of like use your intuition to really kind of like discern and almost, it might sound bad to some people, but almost like categorize the people in your life, you know? And in order for you to really stay grounded with who you are, what you want, and how you want your future to look, and like you staying in your power, it's going to be like so important to use your intuition and to just pay attention, like just observe, pay attention, okay? Something could definitely come into your life that represents an ending. There could be someone who passes away. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relative or someone close to you. It could be someone that's really close to someone that you're close to, you know, like there could be a death in the family of your significant other or of a friend, okay? So the sad embrace over here is kind of like something happens that like, or it could be the ending with the discernment card over here. There could be a betrayal for some of you as well, because discernment does kind of represent that there could be some not so nice people around you, or there could be some people around you who, like I said before, don't have your best interests at heart. And this truth might come to the surface, and it might make you really sad and really depressed to learn that someone really wasn't your real friend at all, or that someone betrayed you somehow. And that is going to put you through some existential, you know, emotional kind of like feelings, and you know, it's just something that, you know, you're just going to need time. You're just going to need time to kind of like feel it out, let it out, just work through it, and just kind of like let it kind of happen, okay? It's also going to be a really good time to just kind of like focus back on like some projects, or focus back in on your financial situation. August is not going to be really a good time to make any like big investments. That is definitely a big energy that I've been picking up on for August, for everybody, that August is, I don't know, something is going to happen in August, or it's just not going to be a good time to really like invest. Especially with the 2 Hermit, you have 2 Hermit energies that came out, and with the 7 of Pentacles, it's kind of like really spending time to maybe like reposition your financial situation, or to kind of go back and really look at like where you're at financially, or where all your, like, where you're at in your situation, just generally speaking, like, you know, where you're at with your investments, your money, your, you know, your home, like whatever the case may be, and really just kind of spend time alone, like just kind of like, you know, because there could be a lot of like scam, I don't know, there could be a lot of weird energy just happening in August, just really weird energy. So just really be careful for August, really keep your eyes open. Shit. And I even told myself, like, don't forget to turn the screensaver off before you start filming, and I forgot. Sorry about that. I just like don't like it when I can't see myself, because then I don't know if it's recording or not. Yeah. So it's going to be really important to just keep your eyes open and to just kind of like keep to yourself, especially with the 2 Hermit cards. Like, you pulled 2 Hermit cards. So like perhaps just like spending time alone, you know, just kind of like focusing on your projects, focusing on your work, focusing on your financial situation, all of that, learning, you know, just kind of learning more about who you are and like where you're at and where you want to be. So the advice here is secrets. Conceal plans and actions from those not ready to accept you as you are. I feel that's really self-explanatory. I don't even feel like I really need to explain that. Secrets. Conceal plans and actions from those not ready to accept you as you are. Yeah. You don't have to share everything with everybody. And that's where that discernment card was coming from. Like, you can't trust everyone, so you really got to be careful. Okay, let's move on to September. We have resilience. We have deep freeze. Oh, still a bit in hibernation here for Virgo season. We have the Fool, Uranus, and then stepping out of hibernation. King of Cups, Scorpio. Ooh, and then the Page of Cups, water energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, so September, there is going to be a lot of resilience, especially because, like, when you're coming out of this energy where you're spending a lot of time alone and you're spending a lot of time to yourself, perhaps you had some kind of wake-up call, perhaps, like, you know, it's just like you really have been, with all that energy of you just kind of like spending time alone and kind of going through all of that alone, like you really kind of built up a lot of this like energy inside you, because perhaps you weren't talking to a lot of people. And if you're not talking to a lot of people, you know, you're keeping a lot of stuff inside, you know, there's a lot of things kind of going on within you, but you've developed this kind of resilient energy, and now you're kind of like carrying it in you. Okay. And there is this kind of energy of like you have been in this kind of like hibernate, and it's weird because it's like we're in summer, right? But it's like you've been almost in this like weird hibernation, or you've been keeping your plans a secret, right? Like you've kind of been like, you've really been keeping a lot of things to yourself, as far as maybe like projects or things that you've been working on. You've been keeping a lot to yourself. You've been very, very silent, like very silent. So September, it's kind of like, one day in September, you're just going to be like, I got to get out of here. It's time to take a risk. Like, I'm ready to take a risk. I'm ready to go back out there and just kind of like, to get back in the game, or to just kind of like start my path again. Like, we got to get this moving. Like, enough of this, you know, it's literally like one day you just get so sick and tired of feeling so like, and then the next day you're just like, enough, it's time. Like, it's time. You just decide it's time, and it's time. With that Fool energy, okay? Like, you're the Fool, but it's okay, because you're like, I'm ready to take the risk. If I gotta be the Fool, let's get this going, okay? And then we have the King of Cups, so it's like, you're literally, like, you're headed straight towards this, like, deep, like, transformative kind of energy, okay? But it's good. It's like, it's kind of like you're stepping right into, and this could definitely represent a person. I'm not feeling like this is your significant other. This is like maybe someone you trust. Maybe you're going to talk to someone you trust. But there's this deep transformative energy that's kind of happening here that like, that kind of allows you to really get in touch with like your soul, And it could be this person who's kind of bringing it out of you. I'm feeling like it could be a Scorpio energy, but this is someone like you could just like call up someone you really trust, or a friend, or someone that you meet that you just kind of have this energy with, and you just feel like you can trust them, and you just kind of open up to them. I feel like you really just open up to them, and you talk about like what happened in August, if you were betrayed, or if a loved one died, or something, and it transforms you, okay? Because this person is able to just listen and be there, like it kind of like, it transforms you in a way. And it helps you open your heart back up. It kind of helps your heart kind of like regenerate itself. It kind of goes through this like death and rebirth, okay? So your advice for September is flash. Interesting. A creative flash of inspiration will come to you and quickly give you the perfect solution. A creative flash of inspiration will come to you and quickly give you the perfect solution. So I really feel like this flash of energy is that Fool card. Literally just like waking up one day and going like, okay, I need to go talk to this person, or I need to, something. There's something that is drawing you. It's like drawing you. Will come to you and quickly give you and like you see a solution in it. It's kind of like you figure out that this person could help with the solution, and I think that they do. I think they do help. They help you in some way, okay? It doesn't have to be a male figure, but it could be someone who's very, very deep and in touch with their own emotions, and it's just kind of like there's just this level of comfort, like you can talk to them about anything. Moving on to October, we have assessing, listening, 8 of Wands, Mercury in Sagittarius, 5 of Coins, Mercury in Taurus, and 2 of Swords, Moon in Libra. Okay, so October is about kind of like assessing. So you could be looking at your network. You can this could be a time where you're kind of like you're starting to speculate. You're starting to look at your environment again. You're starting to kind of like consider maybe some people that you can start working with again. Like, okay, like, or people you can partner up with, connections, okay? Like you're thinking about making new connections or reconnecting with older people, or like actually starting to work on maybe like some project with someone, or just kind of like, you could be just kind of not trolling, but just kind of inspecting maybe some different people on your social media to see what they're up to, I feel like you're kind of ready to just kind of get back out there and start kind of like listening to people again, to talking to people, listening. You are being called to listen here. You are being kind of called to like listen to maybe some people's experiences. But then with the 8 of Wands, there is some kind of really fast-moving energy. And I feel like this fast-moving energy could be someone who is coming to you. There's like, I feel like there could be someone who's really talkative and communicative and fast and energetic, who's coming to you and wanting to talk to you about a whole bunch of stuff, and you're being called to listen. And it's weird because it's almost like maybe you spotted this from like a mile away, or you saw it coming, like your intuition felt like this person was going to come. It's like part of you felt like this person was going to come, and they were going to come and talk to you, and you were just waiting to see when it was going to happen. This could be the same person who was connected to like some kind of betrayal from August. This person could have lost a lot of money, or they could be wanting to explain to you why they like moved out of some kind of deal with you, or moved out from a certain position. This could definitely be money related. And then you're going to be called to make a decision at the end of October. And you're going to have to use your intuition to make a certain decision, but you're going to need some more information. So your advice for October is indecision. I don't see how that's advice. Decide not to make a decision at this time. This will be a constructive, valid, and useful decision. There you go. So it's like you're gonna feel pressure to make a decision. You're going to feel some pressure to make a decision, but your advice is to not make a decision. Your advice is to kind of like pull back and kind of like maybe just let this take care of itself. Huh. Interesting. Okay, let's move on to November. So for November, we have fear, of course, Scorpio season. What else but fear? I'm just kidding. I love Scorpios. We have Sacred Pool. We have the Knight of Swords, Gemini energy. We have the Nine of Swords, Mars and Gemini energy. And we have the Two of Cups. We have Venus and Cancer. This is your energy, Cancer. Okay. So November, there's some inner, I'm kind of feeling like, I don't know, maybe some like old trauma or old, like, you know, child like wounds could be coming to the surface in November. It could be tied to you like not kind of like it could be tied to you deciding not to do anything about a certain situation and not to make a certain decision on something. And so there could be some fear that builds up in you in terms of like, oh, well, maybe I should have, you know, like there's some kind of like weird regret or some weird things that start coming up that kind of forces you to, I don't know, like triggers maybe some deeper things within you that you have to deal with and that are coming to the surface and that you need to acknowledge as to like why you're feeling that way and why do you feel like you need to help everyone, or why do you feel like you always need to be like a savior for people, or like a, I don't know. There's something interesting going on here, and I feel like it's triggered. I feel like it was triggered by this other event from October, okay? And it has something to do with your inner, it has something to do with like your own concept of yourself or perception of yourself. But you're gonna find that fear is like, how do I explain this? Sacred Pool. Like from fear, it's like magic can be born from fear. Okay, so when I think of the Sacred Pool, honestly, I do think of Scorpio energy, because the concept of Scorpio is like this like still water, this still murky, deep, like you don't know what lies beneath there. It's kind of like a lot of people relate Scorpio type of water, like Cancer, metaphorically speaking, is kind of like the surface of like an ocean, right? And like where the waves hit the sand, right? And just kind of that dynamic energy between water and land. That's kind of like Cancer, where Cancer dwells. And then Pisces dwells like in the water, like in the deeper mysteries of the ocean. And there's all these different creatures swimming around and just like, you know, they're magical, they're mystical, they're mysterious, you know. They look odd. And then Scorpio is known to be these like deep, still lakes, you know, that have like the fog that just kind of like chills at the top of the surface. And, you know, maybe like a little muddy, a little like, and there's a lot of this like heavier, like murkier kind of energy that dwells there, you know, kind of like, and that's where like the, you know, the swamp man comes out, or whatever the hell he's called. But I don't know. There are still things that come from there, that are born from there. And I think that you're afraid of those things. I think that, like, there's a part of you that's afraid of those darker places, those murkier places, that's, like, kind of afraid to bring those more darker parts of yourself or like villain-like parts. Not even villain, but just like, you know, the more brooding, like witch-like, or like those more occultish types of energies to the surface. But there's actually something really sacred in that energy because it's so secret, because it's so private, because we don't want to share it with anybody. It's actually really sacred. So I think it's just, November is just kind of forcing you to kind of like acknowledge that part of you that is sacred. Acknowledge the part of you that you, like, what is sacred to you? What side of you do you not show anyone? Like, what are your deepest secrets? What are your darkest secrets? And then with the Knight of Swords over here, Gemini, it's like suddenly you just like burst. You just burst out like into this like friend, like it's like that, it's like you just capitalize. It's weird. It's almost like the moment you find that spark within you and the moment you own it and accept it, like you just capitalize on it with this Knight of Swords over here. I don't know, like something comes out. Okay, something builds and then it comes out. It comes out in this very like aggressive kind of way, but it feels really good when it comes out. And it might cause you to kind of like feel a bit like the fact that you let that energy out, or the fact that you accept that energy. It's almost like you feel like you're bringing it into your mind now, and like now it's in your head. Now you're not just like feeling it. Now it's like in your mind, and now you're overthinking. Now you're like overthinking. But this is weird how this is happening, because then you have the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is like lover energy or kindred spirit energy. So you could also have some kind of fear of going towards someone. Like you could have a fear, there could be someone that you're wanting to like connect with, you know, and you're having a lot of anxiety because like you really want to reach out to them and come together with them. But you're like, you have some fear and you have some anxiety about it. But ultimately it looks like you're just going to take charge and do it anyway. And it looks like you guys are coming together anyway. So let me see your advice. Free associate. Allow the first thing that comes into your mind without self-censorship to bestow a vision upon you. That is literally what I got from that Knight of Swords energy. It's like, Cancer, I swear to God, your energy is so dynamic. It's like you can literally just flip a switch and just go from one thing to the next. Like, I don't even know, like, I thought that I was, like, a roller coaster ride, but, like, you guys aren't really a roller coaster ride. You guys are, like, I kind of feel like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I feel like a roller coaster ride is pretty, like, you know, okay, we go up, we go down, we go higher, we go lower. But I kind of feel like you guys are just, like, you guys are, like, the fun, you guys are, like, the thrilling roller coasters or something. It's weird. It's like you got the big drops and then, you know, you got the slow, like, going up. The slow going up and then the big drops and then, I don't know. It's just weird. It's interesting. Yeah, so it's almost like you just, instead of like, you just kind of realize that overthinking is just not going to get you anywhere, and you need to just like communicate. You need to just communicate. So you just like, you probably just send a text to this person and you don't even care anymore. Like if it sounds stupid or if it comes off as this or that, like you don't even care anymore. You just like send the message or send the text, and then you probably like send it. You probably do your communication, and then you sit there overthinking it until they respond, and they're like, oh yeah, let's get together. You know what I mean? Like, like that's kind of the energy that I'm getting there. It's like you send someone a text and then you literally are like up every night thinking about it for like a week. Like, oh, like what did I send? Like, what did I send her? Like, what the hell? I probably sounded like an idiot. I don't care. And like just kind of dealing with some like inner fears and insecurities and stuff like that. And then finally they like respond, and then you feel good, and you both feel good. Okay, so free associate is just kind of like, just be you. It's just like, no point in living in fear. Just do what you gotta do, say what you gotta say, speak your truth. Okay, let's move on to December. How is hair still getting caught in my cards? Didn't I, oh my god, I got a vacuum. See, this is what happens when you go carpeting. Okay, December we have extremes. We have gentle gardener. December is hot, man. Some hot, passionate sex in December. I'm just kidding. Although maybe, because that's a hot moon. Extremes is a hot moon. So either, all I see is passion, basically. A whole lot of passion for December. We have gentle passion, and then, so passion, and then like cuddling, basically, with the gentle gardener. It's literally like, okay, a whole lot of passion, and then a whole lot of cuddling. Basically the theme of your life for 2022. One energy, and then the other energy, and just back and forth. Back and forth. Six of Swords, we have Mercury in Aquarius, transitioning, okay, so taking the time to reflect, to transition from one state to the next, from one energy to the next. King of Swords, more Aquarius energy. Oof. Standing firm and strong in some progressive idea. You're really thinking about the future. Either you're thinking about the future or someone else is thinking about the future, like big time. Big future energy over here. Big future energy over here. Six of Pentacles. We're back to the moon in Taurus. Wanting to give to a situation. Wanting to invest. Wanting to give, wanting to invest. Okay, yeah, so December is kind of wrapped up with some passionate extremes. Passionate energy, balanced out with some really gentle, affectionate, kind of more emotional, romantic kind of energy, and just kind of like appreciating and understanding those moments of transition between two different energies, whether it's between two different energies that are going on within you, or the two different energies between you and your person, and just kind of like allowing it to flow, and just being really confident overall in your future. And this is either you or this other person, but there's a lot of confidence in the future over here, just like very strong, very powerful, kind of like this is a person that you don't want to lose. I'm really feeling maybe even a little bit of possessive energy, but I'm really feeling like this is not something that you want to lose. Like you're feeling really strong, confident, and good in this. Like you're ready to invest. You want to invest in this. And then for advice, you have fear. If you want to be free of fears and phobias, then you have to understand why they exist and make peace with them. So this energy of kind of wanting to be in control, I am kind of feeling this energy of wanting to be in control of where this is headed. I feel like you want to be in full control of where this relationship is going, and that could very much stem from a deeper fear. Like fear, like you don't want this person to leave you, some insecurities. Usually people who only want power and control and want to be in full control of things, it usually is rooted in some deeper fear, perhaps because we're afraid that person could leave us or that it won't work out. So that's something that you really need to pay attention to for December, and that you're going to need to really face, because that could be what makes the person end up leaving you in the end if you become over possessive or over controlling, which will be the complete opposite of what you initially wanted, right? So definitely something to keep in mind over here, Cancer. So Cancer, this is your reading for 2022, 12-month Oracle and Tarot reading. Yeah, that was super cool. I really enjoyed that. So I hope you guys did too. Feel free to comment and like and subscribe, and I hope I'm going to see you guys in 2022. Bye!